So for Zombie World, losing Halq is actually incredibly bad because technically, you could even say Halq is a part of our engine actually because we, to get to Bloom is actually fairly hard. Aside from like Unizombie sending Bloom and having Zombie Worlds active via discarding Banshee from hand, or we have just a Zombie World in hand. And then that would just be the whole turn. We just basically Doom King pass with Unizombie, or if we're lucky, we can, I guess, summon Vampire Sucker first, and then pass, and then Doom King comes back on the next turn, maybe. Not that likely, but it could maybe happen. And this Halq, or the Dagda package, isn't really useful anymore, and these cards not playable. But that just gives us more room in our extra deck to do stuff. Well, granted, if we had really good stuff to replace it with, not much we can do about that either. But every single play you would want to make with zombies, you just feel like you're lacking tempo, and this makes two-card combos pretty obsolete, unless you're looking for a two-card that lets you Doom King pass. So we have Unizombie plus, let's say, Gozuki, and then we just special summon Gozuki with Mezuki effect. Then we just have one more body than we did with Unizombie, and we can send another zombie monster from our deck to the graveyard, which in this case, assuming we're just fully just two-card comboing, Banshee actually, if we just send Banshee, we might as well have just sent Banshee with Unizombie and not went into Gozuki at all. Unless you wanted to just have Zombie World active with, let's say, for example, Shinshin. Kinda weird, but yeah, you could do that. And on top of that as well, the support we'll be getting later, well, let's just set this to standard for now. So when we get Changshi, Mauler, and Immortal Dragon, in Archetype, especially with Pier, it'll be really apparent, but they don't actually solve any of our kind of in-archetype, I guess you would call it, or I don't know what you would call this, but basically it doesn't help out pure zombie decks that much at all, because we still have tempo issues, especially with our 2 cards, but it does help out a lot with our 3-card combos, and that really hurts our consistency, which makes this deck harder to play, considering we have to play through cards like Maxi, Ash Blossom. So if we get Ash Blossomed once, we just lose access to Zombie World. We can maybe throw a Doom King from hand or something, but that's not very good. But if we have just Zombie World pass with some back row, maybe that's not that great either. Depends on the back row, I guess, but not really what you want anyways. Because I think most of you guys probably want to be playing Zombie World as like a combo deck kind of thing. But without Halq, we lose our tempo. Because Halq, aside, if you just ignore some of the effects and only focus on the special summon the tuner effect, and the fact that it's a link too, you can just send Unizombie and Gozuki, which allows you to activate Gozuki by banishing Unizombie to bring out a different zombie, which is really good. In case of like a 3-card combo, this helps out quite a bit. Still, I mean, we can still send these two just fine, but whatever we use to send them from our extra deck, it won't be nearly as good as Halq. But so yeah, Halq special summoning Bloom, and then we can link off Bloom. But if we just had a way to Foolish, that'd also be fine. So we're going to just probably have to kind of, well, yeah, we'll have to rework the entire deck, and here is probably completely unplayable, but I think maybe it'll be playable whenever the Vendred support drops, because we'll have access to Scar, which is a 6 that we can dump to search the Ventred spell, like the Ventred spells, and that might be enough. And for example, Revendred Slayer is actually Revendred Slayer is actually a 6, which we could potentially use to make Beatrice. Beatrice being like probably the next best thing after Halq, but you still have to make Beatrice, which is kind of rough. It's not that accessible for zombies straight up right now though, so going to have to wait quite a while before we get the Vendred support and our more generic zombie support, I guess, with Changshi, Mad Mauler, but I guess for your hybrid builds, whenever that drops, it'll be pretty good. Like, with Chaos Ruler and all that. Well, not just Chaos Ruler. Well, I guess they lost Chaos Ruler in TCG, but we're playing Master Duel here. So in case in the situation where we have like a Synchro 8, like, we'll just go with, I don't know. What's a good Synchro 8? We have surprisingly not much that I can think about right now. But I guess maybe a Chaos Ruler. Well, we'll just say Chaos Ruler, I guess. Or whatever. Doesn't really matter what monster you have. What you can do is, since Mad Mauler doesn't actually specify the monster it targets has to be a zombie, you could target Borreload Savage and then link off, or you can make Immortal Dragon maybe. If you have a level 4 zombie or something like that. And then you can bring back your Synchro monster, whatever it is. I guess it would be better if you used like a Baron at this stage, maybe. And then brought back a Baron later. With the Red Eye Zombie Lord effect, that might be good, but that's also better with Halq, which is a shame. And losing Scythe, kind of also a shame. But I mean, there are other ways to do a Scythe lock if you're really interested. And speaking of Scythe lock, with the Immortal Dragon, we can still Scythe lock, but we don't use Degged, I'm pretty sure. We just dump the Scythe. And then with Red Eye Zombie Lord effect in standby, probably, we'll just bring back Scythe, and that'll just be the Scythe lock there. Well, losing the ability to do our plays because of lack of tempo kinda sucks, but our special summons do require like a Mezuki in the graveyard and then any zombie, which sounds obvious, but you know, it's still a lot of material. So ideally, in an ideal world where our ideals would come true, we would normal summon Unizombie and maybe special summon a Gozuki, or we just special them both. Well, that sounds like a pendulum angle, but then you go ahead and look at this. Damn. PM Captor, that's all we have. What a damn shame. Well, that's all for today, so see you guys.